12th, 2024. All this meeting to order. Roll call. Smiley. Here. Starks. Here. And Murphy here. Number 4, approval of the minutes of last meeting, August 5th, 2024. Any additions or corrections?
It looked good to me. I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Number 5, approval of warrants and claims.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Number 6, discussion and possible action regarding the Oklahoma Sheriff's Office Funding Assistant Grant Program. David, you're up.
Okay. Oh, you're fine. I'll stand. It's okay. So we've submitted, well, we haven't submitted it yet. The application for this grant, this is just as the grant states, it's a funding assistance for the operation of our office. In this grant, you can purchase equipment. The information I've given you shows exactly what you're able to purchase. It also includes, one thing they allow are bonuses, which is something we have put into that grant application. Bonuses for each of our employees at the Sheriff's Office. This is a one-time pay, so as far as the funding, if we're approved of it today, and of course by the Attorney General's office, if they approve our application, we have until June 30, 2026 to expend the funds. We're eligible up to $250,000 for our office, and that's not a reimbursement, it's not a matching, that's a one-time fee. You turn in the application, you guys approve it, they approve it, we're able to obtain that finance. This can be used, some of the things we put on there are upgrading our tasers. We're on an older model right now. There's racks on. We've got a quote for the upgrade to the Model 10, which comes out to $41,495.20. The next thing that we're asking on this grant is our body-worn cameras, 5 total, for $19,018.80. The next part is our bonus section. We have 14 employees at the Sheriff's Office currently. We're requesting bonuses for $15,000 to each deputy and sheriff, and $3,500 for each jailer. Now, that comes out to $129,500. The last thing that we've requested on this grant is upgrading our courthouse security cameras, install everything, and we put a price tag of $59,986. Now, that's fluctuated. We're going to have a meeting with county officers to determine what offices would like us to have these installed into their respective offices. But the money is there for that, and up to almost $60,000. So going back to the bonus section, part of that is going to be, we're going to put stipulations on that, not anymore just because you're working there today doesn't mean you're eligible for it.
That was my question.
We're going to require at least a year of service
Before they
can, and that's a one-time payment.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, for each deputy and sheriff, it's $15,000. That is a one-time deal. It won't be there probably in 2 years, So
What if you give me a $15,000 bonus and I just quit?
well, we're going to have to come up with some stipulations for that also.
Yeah, well,
I was going to ask.
I agree. That's a worry. That is definitely a worry. The only problem is having to expend the funds by June 30, once we send that out, if someone decides to take another job somewhere else. So we can't expect to probably gain that back when it was a grant anyway. I wouldn't think, but we're gonna have obviously, we're gonna have certain things set in
Maybe
place.
split it up into,
Split it up.
yeah,
Go ahead.
partial bonus now and then a partial bonus June.
That could be, yeah. We
Well,
could certainly-
Or something like
And
that.
that's what I was wondering
Okay.
about is if this was a bonus in arrears or going forward, a bonus for this 24, 25, or,
Going back.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying, so starting everybody at 1 year, so 1 year from now, you could possibly be eligible. That makes a lot of sense there, and that's something that we can definitely explore. We can definitely get you guys some, what we're looking at, because my understanding of that grant, we have to have something like that in place anyway for the Attorney General's office, so, before, to be considered for it, so yeah, I don't see why that couldn't be an issue. I mean,
A little
we're not
food for
keeping-
thought. What
Yeah,
about giving
what you need.
it to them quarterly?
I don't, with the grant, I don't know exactly how, if they have a certain parameter set up for that, or if it's just at our discretion how we do that, as long as it's fine. As long as we expend it by the 30th of 2026, June 2026, we do it how we need to, and I think that makes
Or
sense.
use it how you best,
All right.
well,
Well,
best fit you.
and I think obviously we're dealing with like everybody else. We're having a hard time keeping people. So it's no secret that we've got plenty at our office right now that are also applying elsewhere now anyway. So that's we could be setting on a deal where we've got $45,000 in bonuses that are unspent, because we can't get anyone to meet that requirement. So, and then you've got the deadline anyway, coming up.
Plan B.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, but that
we're gonna have-
2026 is almost 2 years away.
It is, and a lot can change in 2 years as far as that goes. Kind of, I guess, not to sound like we're being greedy, the deal is, my thing with this dispersing payments for this stuff is almost immediate. Get it spent while we know where it's going, and instead of being sitting there waiting on. Because like I said, that $59,000 on the courthouse security system, that's not a set number. I mean, there's already going to be probably money left over, depending on what each office wants to do, if they even want to partake in it. That's totally up to them. But we do have to upgrade our system as is. We've lost cameras for our jail and so we're going to have to do something anyway. But right now, I don't have a firm number for what that's going to cost, especially. But we do have the money there for that. So, but as far as that, I can definitely get you guys some kind of template for what we're going to look at doing. That'll make you feel better as far as the bonus goes. We can definitely come up with something.
That was my only concern, was giving it and then
They turn around and
use it wisely and keep them, the quality people you want.
Well, and that's
Another year.
absolutely.
Does it specify that you got to give each one $1,500, or can you give one more?
No, that's just our standard. We wanted to try to keep it as even as possible. That's why, we've
Your
included.
hands is even?
Uh,
They're all even?
Right. That's all.
If they've
Each
been there
one,
a year.
if they've been there a year, they're eligible, as we see it right now. If you're there a year, you're eligible for $15,000 if
I'm
you're.
not talking about that, I'm talking about quality.
I
I mean, I hate to go there, but
yeah, I get that
that
too.
means something to me, I
Right.
mean, but.
Well, and everybody, I don't know,
I don't know
everybody
if
does
do
the
it.
job differently.
Yeah.
And what works for some may not work for others, and I get that too. I feel like we've got a good bunch of, I feel like we've got a good bunch of people, but I understand that too. I think we would like to keep it as even as possible.
Yeah.
We all are able to do the same job, and I think that's fair to everyone. And, you know, maybe it'll encourage more, maybe it'll encourage loyalty, I don't know. But we can only hope it'll help with things. And the other thing that we're looking at, some of us are still on the old retirement, and part of that is we're able to buy in, from my understanding it's coming, that we're able to buy into the new retirement, which makes it more feasible to work till we're 100, whatever again. So
Can you use this money to buy into your own retirement?
you could. Well, no, not for, I think in the bonus side.
Right.
Once it's expended for the bonus side, yeah, it could be your seed money,
Yeah.
I mean, for that.
Well, they could, whoever gets it could do
Right.
it.
Well, that's
Now,
what
that'll be on a personal deal.
Right.
Yeah.
But again, that's something if someone's gonna put the time in to stick around. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, like everybody else, we're not exempt. We're having a difficult time keeping people, so. But it could also help us with recruiting too. You know, if they know that they've got possibility of a year, we can't do a sign-on bonus, but in a way, in a year's time, you put in time, you'd be eligible for this. It'd be great, but we're still working on some parameters on what's gonna qualify, but for right now, we are definitely, you know, pretty set on the year. You're gonna have to put in a year's time. And if we need to extend that to current employees that have been here for more than a year, then maybe we could, you know, look at that even, or fluctuate that to a 6-month period. I don't know.
Well, I'm kinda like John, and this is strictly my opinion. I think that paying this deal out quarterly and paying it out by June 30th of 2025 would be the thing to do, because if they, you know, all kinds of things happen. If
I agree.
they quit and you made a point, you aren't gonna get, it's gonna be hard to ever get it back if you pay it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And it's gonna be unfair if somebody quits or does something to the ones that stay, if they drew the full amount.
And then split.
But legally, I don't think that we're bound as far as anyone being able to come back. I don't think that we would suffer. I mean, it wasn't our fault the stuff didn't get expended, you know.
Well, here's the reason I'm saying 2025. Knowing these folks, the legislators I'm talking about, is this may happen again next year.
Sure, yep.
And I think you might as well figure on doing it this year.
Yes, yep. Okay.
And it's gonna benefit the ones that are here.
Right.
And
I think quarterly payment is acceptable. I mean, I don't see it.
And that gives you some leeway if you get a 2-week
Right.
or month notice or whatever, you know.
Yeah, I don't see why that, I mean, if I guess there's money left over at the end of that, you know, when we get to that deadline, then, I don't know, potentially just to expend that before we're in violation of it, we
Yeah, I
can
mean, you
Look,
could have it.
do a sign-on bonus if we can
Yeah.
find somebody that want to do it, help them move, whatever, you know.
Whatever you can get away
Yeah,
with.
just make them sign a contract of some sort for a year or two.
Now it says expended. Is it like the ARPA money though? Do you have to have it encumbered
That I don't know,
by a date?
that I don't know.
Well, you follow what I'm saying. The ARPA money has a deadline. I didn't see anything in there about that,
I
but
didn't.
I didn't either.
I didn't recall.
And I don't know when the funds do get sent. You hear things, but I don't know if it'll be this fall or if it'll be even after the first of the
Right.
year. I don't have
Yeah.
a clue. And at that point, you know, again, with me, it'll come down to someone else can be sitting there. So they'll be making that decision ultimately. As is right now, I don't see why we can't do even quarterly payments or whatever. I think though, if we've got people that are, and this isn't because I'm one of them, but we've got people who put in the time here, I think they ought to expect at least, you know, for the service that you have provided and done faithfully, that you should be able to receive that sooner than a year, even some of it. But that's my 2 cents.
Does that
Well-
just depend on whether you get it?
Yeah, that
I
absolutely.
mean-
There's no, the biggest hurdle to jump through is going through this meeting with it. And then ultimately, I don't know what their decision-making is in the city over it. It's my understanding that this money is set aside for us. It is
Yeah.
there for Woods County. And so if we don't get it, then,
Well, I'm not trying to go there.
Oh, I know, I
I'm
know.
trying to get the ones that are gonna stay,
Yeah.
the ones that have been here, the ones that are gonna stay. You know, if you set it up where you can get it spent by
Yeah.
June of next year, and you won't have a chance, we're already through one quarter.
yeah.
Right.
You know, I mean, to look at that, but I mean, this is a reward for the ones that have been here over a year,
Right.
and,
Which we've got currently, three of us, 4 of us, I guess, are eligible for it now. We've put in over the year, but, then we still got one that's not till June of next year, and then the other one's leaving us here in a couple of weeks. So, we won't even know. The deadline to submit this application is September 6th, so, we're already gonna have unspent, right off the top, so.
yeah, but it gives provisions in there where you
Yeah.
can change.
Right. Well, you've got enough time to
Yeah.
make that, as you go. I mean, it's a little tricky. We've never had to deal with anything like this as far as a bonus goes, so.
No, but, I mean, I'll be gone too the first of the year, but still, I think it's everybody's benefit if it's spelled out of how they're gonna get it,
Right.
and you don't give it all in advance, because,
Yeah.
I think they're entitled to it up until they leave.
Right.
You're the ones that are
Yeah.
eligible now. You
Right.
follow what
I
I'm
get
saying?
that too. Yep. I do. But, I know this is, obviously the big deal is this is a one-time thing, so we're not to be expecting it next year or when they open this up again, if they do. So it's hard to, I don't know, it's hard to turn people down that, have put in the time and have stuck around, through some leaner times, but I don't know. It's not gonna solve our problem of staffing, it's never gonna. And that's the same with our jailers, we put in there for each of them $3,500. They're, obviously, those are college kids, they come and go with the wind, so there's gonna be certain, maybe stricter guidelines for them. We're not gonna give it to them and then they bounce out as quick as they got it, so.
Right.
We have some things we've still got to set up, but that is exactly what we're looking at making firm, is there will be strict guidelines on it, and we're not going to just give it to you because we have to.
Well, I appreciate you coming, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I mean, as far as me personally, is all I can say. I'd like to see some of those guidelines and stuff before we do approve it.
Okay.
And this is to win?
This is September 6th.
That's when you make the application?
That's when we turn it in.
Yeah,
That's got to
it
be turned
turn
in.
it in by
Say anything about when you'll receive the money?
No, they haven't put that out. I don't know. I mean, I don't even have an idea of when that could be dispersed to us. I have no clue. That hasn't been set up. So I don't even know if it'll be after before the first of the year. So, but I'm glad that,
Oh, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
It probably won't be until
Be nice to know, so you could start making.
so you can plan. Yeah, exactly. That's where
Takes
we're,
time for
I
them to
mean,
get through all of them.
yeah. But that's kind of where we're at. So I will definitely get you all your guidelines that you need.
Sounds like you're headed in the right direction, though, to me.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it. We hope so.
Sounds great.
Well, thank you. We'll see, but I will get you those ASAP. All right? Thank you, men.
Thanks.
Take no action?
Yeah, that's what said take no action till later date.
Yeah, let's take no action, because it could be 2 weeks. I'd like to visit more and some of those things.
I
if we table it, we'd have to do it next week, so.
I'll make a motion that we hold off on any.
Take no action.
Yeah, no actions.
No action.
Yeah,
I'll second that.
All in favor?
we don't
Aye.
have motion for no action.
Okay, number 7, discussion and possible action regarding the resolution affirming a commitment to the citizens of Woods County and through applications to the state of Oklahoma 911 Management Authority certifies that local funding is available to meet the grant match requirements. I think this is on the CAD system deal, and there's another grant that she's got denied one, and she's applied for another one that may, but this is an every year deal, and she's working on the other grant, which she thinks is a good possibility. Yeah, but if we're gonna have a good 911 system, there's not much choice we got.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Number 8, discussion and possible action regarding the Sync Tech System Maintenance Agreement with District 2 in an amount of $1,175. I'll make the motion, Matt.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
What is that? Just your fuel system deal?
Yeah.
Do we all have this Syntec people?
That I don't know.
We've got some
You-
different.
It seems like we all do. Yeah. You got a key card?
Ours is just pin
Pin
number.
numbers, yeah. Yours is too, right?
Yeah. Number 9, discussion and possible action regarding the ROCMND Area Youth Services Incorporated for detention services in the amount of $25 a day per child.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor? They get cheaper all the time, huh?
Hopefully it's not because of volume.
Okay, number 10, any new business?
Other than I'm gonna meet with architects, and Susan at that nursing place and kind of go over that. Don't know how that'll go, but that's really all I got.
I have no definites on anything. Except for David had a successful surgery up today, and another one, so it's prolonged his deal, but anyway. Sounded like that was a bullet that they dodged by finding that.
For sure.
Anyway. Okay, number 11, approve, disapprove blanket purchase order.
So moved.
Second.
On favor?
Aye.
Number 12, motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All right.